Hey guys. So, I have to share this. I still have my morning face on and everything, but I'm not going to make a full fledged video. But there's something that came into my experience that I want to share. I really want to share because I feel like other people can relate to it. And it kind of relates to the video I did yesterday in terms of how, we interact in relationships and such. So, anyways, um, Lance and I have been like really great for like 2 weeks, like really great. Like that's how it is when you're in a conscious relationship and both people are willing to grow. Like over time, like the capacity you have to love like expands, and you just start loving to the point where you don't like you're in uncharted territory in terms of like your ability to love and how much your heart expands. So like that's how it's been the last couple weeks. And so then yesterday he had a rough day and he kind of brought it home with him. And so for me, so then he was kind of like on the phone all evening. Like he got home from work at like 3:30 and then was kind of like doing his own thing and like completely avoiding me, right? And so for me, like I've said in my past videos, like I have like abandonment issues with like my mom and that, like leaving me and my brother and all that when we were kids. And so like that's one of the things that I'm working through. And I'm using this as an example because like your shadow, you're still working through it. And like what being in a dynamic where both people are pushing each other to grow, it pushes you so much. You're going to continuously face things until you're like this clear conduit of light. All your you know you know all the energy can just be channeled through you in a smooth way. There's no like roadblocks. There's no negative, dense energy clogging those pathways. So, anyways, back to the story. So, I'm being at first I was cool because I was like, whatever, like even though we're in the house, we still spend a lot of time apart because we're just doing our own thing. We each have our own little, routines and things that we like to do. But we usually spend time together in the evening. So like something came up and it was like making his day even more dense. And I'm like, dang. And then literally it was like late and I ended up just falling asleep and I hadn't seen him because he was just like doing his thing. And then what happened? It was like this morning I woke up, like he went to work and it was like 5 in the morning. And like he still like was like completely rejecting me, and finally like I had to say something. And I was just like, for me, and this is how I handle a situation where normally I would just get all in my feelings and just like whenever I get triggered, the thing that I'm trying to master and spirit wants me to master is just being quiet and just like being, because like sometimes saying nothing is like what you need to do. In my situation and the way I usually project, um my throat chakras blasted open. So like for me, I have to like tame myself in that area where other people, they need to use their voice more and set boundaries. And for me, in certain situations I have to set boundaries, but when it comes to me and my relationship and when I get triggered, it's I need to be quiet and just let the situation sit and go within and talk to spirit and come from a grounded place, you know. So what I did, instead of like getting all crazy, I well, what happened was he sent me this is the funniest part. Yesterday is the synchronicity too. This meme came down my Facebook timeline and it was talking about how when married couples get in an argument, nobody actually ever apologizes. Somebody just says, "Hey, is the stove still on in the kitchen?" And that's how you like break that gap in the silence where like nobody wants to talk to each other, and then you just pretend nothing happened, which is totally spiritual bypassing. But I laugh because like me and him are like that a little bit because we are non-confrontational. We're both kind of people pleasers, so we're just like, okay, let's just get past it because we don't feel like having the deep discussion. But for me, it was like I didn't think that he saw how it was for in my shoes. And so I told him, I said, I'm not mad at you, but um if you look at this situation where we're like so blown out of this world in love with each other for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, like, there's no time to transition from that feeling to feeling totally rejected because you're having a bad day, you know? And it was like a lot for me to take. Like, usually, like, if he's having a bad day, like, he could have a bad week and we could be apart for like a week and not spend a lot of time together and it wouldn't bother me. But I think it's because we were so close for like 2 weeks straight. And then all of a sudden he had a bad day and it was like I couldn't handle the transition. But what I wanted him to see was that, like, I recognize his stuff, you know, and I try to like analyze it and like be more supportive and less triggered and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I wanted to be for him yesterday. It was like I couldn't handle it, right? And the reason I'm sharing this is because nobody is perfect. No relationship is perfect, especially if you're in twin flame energy. Like, this is what it's like. This is what it's like, and you have to master it. Where old Kelsey would have like blown out of proportion and been like, I don't even know why I'm in a relationship with you. Like, you know what I mean? You don't even respect me, and like, blah, blah, blah. Right? So that's why quieting myself and going within is like totally what anyone should do when they're triggered. But like, if you have a blocked throat chakra, it could be different for you. But I want to share different examples, and I might do this more often where if something comes up for me, like, I'll come on and tell you how I worked through it. But Lance had sent me a meme that was like doing what I was talking about, like where you're kind of like avoiding your shadow and just wanting to like pretend that the friction didn't happen and avoid that conversation. And for me, like, I wanted the respect. I wanted him to recognize how that impacts me. And so, like, I had to be able to ground myself to have that conversation with him, right? And, like, yeah, like, I don't know. Spirit just really wanted me to come on and share that because it's not, that's what it's like. Yesterday, we were talking about, like, what's the difference between healing by yourself and healing in, like, a union. It's in your face all the time, and this is the perfect example of it. Everything seems so great. It's those oscillations, and then all of a sudden, boom, look at your shadow. Look at your shadow. And they're going to be the ones to show it to you. And it was him showing me my shadow. Yeah, he was going through his own stuff with other things, like in the 3D, that was showing him his shadow, but my shadow was also being shown to me through him. So, like, you see how the universe is giving you this contrast as a gift to see how you're going to use it, how you're going to react, how you're going to rewire your brain to not react in the same old ways, to react in a way that serves your highest good. So yeah, guys, I love you, and I hope that helps somebody.